Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with more Snarled videos. That's right, we're here to get back into the spooky mindset. And we have three more today. Where did the children go? What's behind the wall? And my best friend the demon. So, where did the children go is definitely gives spooky vibes because it could mean a couple different things, but it definitely still gives the same vibes. It's like, okay, the children were here, where did they go? That could lead to a lot of different things. Could very easily lead to dead children or just completely gone and disappeared. What's behind the wall also has some pretty spooky vibes to it. Hearing noises from behind the wall, maybe a voice. It's like, ooh, that could lead to some interesting things. My best friend, the demon, sounds like one of those stories where it's like, oh, probably a kid speaking to something that at first is unseen but ends up being revealed to be a demon, something like that. So these all have good potential. Not all of the Snarled videos are like super scary. Not all of them are like as good as others. So it's just going to depend. And considering they source their stories from different places, such as folklore and Reddit and whatnot, it's always kind of up in the air as to how scary and how good they're going to be. I mean, I'm willing to give it a shot as always. So yeah, just as a reminder, this is a donation reward. Snarled videos are a donation reward for Sweet Venom. Formerly Venom0027. Name has been name for YouTube has been changed. Just letting you know in case you're wondering who Sweet Venom is. I have been asked to use that name from here on out. So just letting you know. So this is a reward for Sweet Venom, as usual. And yeah, I'm very, very excited to see more of these. I'm always excited to see more of these. And you know, we can do these at any time. We already did these at any time we wanted, but now, especially with the unscheduled thing and not having to pre-record shit for as long, it's like now I just feel like I can get to things a little easier. You know what I mean? I just feel like I have a little more free time that instead of having to constantly record things in a specific order. If that makes any sense. Either way, we're just going to get on with this and hope for the best. So, when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and it fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the videos. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, so a pretty good set here. Of differing scariness levels, but still very good. So let's talk about them in order. Where did the children go? This one, like, kind of went in the direction I was expecting. And yeah, definitely scary in that regards. So there's this show with animal costumes and stuff. 3 girls are into it. Ends up being this fan club stuff that starts arriving in the mail. And they enter it and they get accepted. They go along with a bunch of other kids to this, they're going to go to this meet and greet event, basically, where they can become elite fan club members. And one of the girls goes on ahead early. When the other 2 arrive, a bunch of kids are already gone, and including their friend. No one ever returns. The cops are called. But eventually, a thing does come into mail with the elite fan club member card and a video of the missing friend. But also, we find out that the fan club was not real. It was not a real thing. It was not officially done by this show, and that it was some kind of child trafficking ring. So that's fun. And the video shows the friend on it with someone in one of the character costumes. So they were very clearly doing this very big, like well thought out plan to do this. And the fact that they sent video, and probably to all of the parents and everything, it's like, oh, you're just taunting them. It's like, oh yeah, we kidnapped and trafficked your children, possibly for like sexual shit. It's like, Jesus. And the worst part is, like, I don't know if this is like based on like a real specific event, but shit like this very much has happened. Trafficking rings where kids are like lured in by promises of other stuff. And it's horrific. It's terrifying. And so many kids go missing and are never found. Or are not found until it's too late. And it's just like, that's really scary. And I don't like it. Because it's real. It's very real. It's too real. The second one was also very real, but unlike the first, which went in a direction I was expecting, the second went in a completely different direction that I wasn't expecting, that I didn't see coming. What's behind the wall? So this girl starts hearing noises behind her wall and views it as this, like, there's got to be some creature behind the wall, right? It keeps knocking and scratching and making all these noises. And she's scared of it. So every time it happens, she calls in her father, who assures her it's like, there's nothing behind there. Or when she was younger, he would like knock on the wall back and assure her that it's like, it's all good. Everything's fine. I'll take care of the scary monster, or saying stuff like, there's a bunch of steel behind the wall. It's all going to be fine. But it continues just kind of on and off randomly. And so one day she's out with her friends and she's called to come back home by her mother. And so on the way home, she starts seeing like emergency vehicles and media people. And so she starts realizing, oh no, my father, who didn't believe in everything, the monster must have gone out and killed him. She comes home to find out he was the monster. Because behind her wall was a secret room that her father had that was hidden away in the closet. And it was a murder room, a torture room, in which the father would torture and skin a bunch of young victims. Well, not necessarily young, but a bunch of victims who would like write these messages on the wall. They were scratching messages on the wall. They were knocking on the wall to try and get help and everything. And those were the noises that she was hearing all this time. The scratching that had gotten in her head was them etching in these messages. Etching in these final messages to loved ones and stuff. And so it's revealed after that that the girl ends up in a mental asylum, having been driven into really poor mental health and possible direct insanity due to finding out that her loving, caring father was a serial killer. And all the scratching that she had begun to think nothing of, she found out were the victims. And she read those messages and she just wasn't able to sleep again. And it was causing her a lot of problems there. And Jesus fuck. It went really fucking dark really quick. And it's like, okay. Not okay with that. And again, it's a very realistic one, unfortunately. I've heard stories of similar things happening. Normal seeming people ending up being horrific serial killers who would do stuff like this. Yet in public or to their families, they seem normal. And it's horrific and sad. And there's a lot that can be said, a lot that can be gone into and dissected regarding that kind of stuff. And it's, no matter what, it's really upsetting. But then we had the last one, which was the least scary of them, but was still good. My Best Friend the Demon. So in this one, there's this little girl who starts talking like to an imaginary friend. Grandma comes in one day and sees the girl with a demon. The exorcist is called, and we find out it's a demon who specifically befriends kids and gets them to trust them so that when they die, their soul goes to the demon. I forgot what its name was. Well, the name of the demon was Chalizo, but I forgot what it was, like what the priest called it, you know? So the mother doesn't believe any of this stuff, and the years go by. The girl still talks about it, even though it seems like the priest has exorcised it. But eventually some really strange occurrences begin to happen, like really good luck stuff to this family. Whenever something bad happens or something seemingly bad, it's like fixed right away and whatnot, all thanks to Chalizo, apparently. Eventually, the mother ends up snapping at her daughter because of, like, sick of hearing that stuff. When she's trying to talk to her daughter about, like, oh, do you like anyone at school? And when she goes in to apologize, she sees Chalizo right there. He is real. And so at that point, she just believes from then on, and they continue moving on. They continue living on. Like, nothing really ever changes, except it just continues on at the end with, it's like, you do know that when you die, Chalizo will have your soul. Are you okay with that? And she's like, yeah, why wouldn't I be? I'm good with that. And then it just ends. And it's like, yeah, it's not really scary. Like, obviously the idea of the demon owning her soul and everything is frightening to a degree, of course. But, like, it seems like it's not entirely negative in the way it's portrayed. Like, the girl is very okay with it. She's comfortable with it. It's consensual, I guess you could say. And the demon Chalizo is helping her and her family, and it's like, where's the... It's like that's what's keeping it from being too scary for me, because it's like nothing bad is coming out of it. All the effects have been entirely positive. Like, the girl got hit by a car and was completely scratch free. Her sister, I think it said, was got a skin condition, completely healed a couple weeks later. The mother was going to go shopping. The girl told her to stay back. Ends up there was an active shooter there. It's like, this is inherently good stuff that's happening. The only slightly negative, scary thing is just the fact that the girl will owe the demon her soul upon death. And it's like, yeah, we don't know what that would end up meaning for her. It could mean eternal torment, but we don't know. And in the end, it's like, again, it's consensual. And apparently these demons are, like, genuinely caring for their victim, quote-unquote victims. So it's like, this one's not really scary. It's just kind of like, okay. He seems nice. Chalizo seems nice. Set him a plate at the table. Get Chalizo some chorizo. I'm sorry, I was working my way up to that joke this entire time. Because right when I saw Chalizo's name in the credits at the very beginning, that was the first thing that came to my mind. I'm like, It sounds like chorizo. And I'm glad I was able to work my way into that joke to now that I didn't say it beforehand. But I had been thinking about that since the beginning of reacting to that video. But yeah, in all seriousness, it seems like Chorizo is a good guy. There doesn't seem to be any actual evidence of negative shit here. Again, outside of the soul, but we don't know what that would incur, what that would like actually like result in. If the demon truly does care for the child, then maybe it just they just spend eternity frolicking in flower fields for all we know. Maybe it's an eternity of the child's soul just sitting in the demon's lap and relaxing. That doesn't sound that bad. Like, seriously. There doesn't, the negatives on that one seem to be a lot less confirmed or pronounced than the first two videos. If I had to say a favorite of this set, just in terms of how much it surprised me, I would go with What's Behind the Wall. Like, that one genuinely surprised me in a very good way. Obviously, a very horrifying and scary and upsetting way, but still, it was a really good story with a twist I actually didn't see coming. If I were to say which one was my least favorite, probably My Best Friend the Demon. Just because it was so not scary. It was just, there was so little negativity to it. It just seems like I don't think it was going for what it was supposed to be going for. Like the video series is called Something Scary. This was not scary. Not really. But either way, all three of these were good to their own degree, though. Like even the last one was still enjoyable, and I still had fun watching it and everything, and listening to the story. The visuals were great in these. They had some great sound effect stuff in these three ones. Yeah, I think this was a really good set. So thank you, as always, to Sweet Venom for donating for this. We have more Snarled videos coming up in the future. At some point, but for now, tell me in the comments below, what did you think of these three Snarled videos? And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.